is crazy.
Hi guys, my name is Mila and welcome back to a new video. Today we will talk about the drop rates and a certain theory I have on how actually the randomizing works, potentially. So this is not true, this is just a theory I have for my own. So to explain really what went down, I pulled 700 gold crates and 560 silver crates to put the percentages they claimed to the test and to prove that it's either random or not random at all. To do this, I got a modded account which is banned, so don't start asking me how to mod or anything, I'm not gonna help you, and this was purely done out of educational purposes. Being banned also excludes you from everything, like you can't do online races, you can't join crews, you can't even do regular cups in general, so there is really no fun after being banned when you take that huge risk. The account is well over rank 700, which means the hypothesis of a beginner account gets better stuff is pushed aside. And the Tempest series has not been completed yet, which means the regular variants of the Tempest cars are not on the crates, so that can't mess up the percentages at all. So I did the pulls with this account spread over 2 days. So first I did the 700 gold crates last week, and then I did the 560 silver crates also in one go, but I did that yesterday. Both outside of special drop rates, and for both I kept count on beer coasters as a true Belgian. This video is not done in collaboration with Natural Motion or Zynga, and the results are not tampered with. This is purely done for educational purposes to see if the put up percentages are actually true or not. Before we start, a little bit more explanation on how statistics work. Each pull is supposed to be independent from the previous pull. This means that in 100 gold pulls there is no guarantee you will get at least 10 5-star cars if the drop rate is 10%. So basically it means there is just a 10% chance of you getting a 5-star car each time you open up the crate. Just like with coins, there is a 50-50% chance, but you can flip head 3 times in a row, but the odds of that happening are rather small. If you flip multiple times though, the result should balance out at 50% theoretically, and the more you flip, the closer you will get to that actual value. Same case here, on 10 pulls the results will not be as clear as on 100 pulls or 1000 pulls. But I tried to pull as many as I had available on the account, which came down to 28,000 silver keys, giving me 560 silver crates, and 7,000 gold keys, giving me 700 gold crates. So first the silver crate pulls. According to the little icon on the right of the silver crates, the drop rates are 2% for a 5-star car, 8% for a 4-star, 24% for a 3-star, 29% for a 2-star, and 37% for a 1-star car. These odds seem rather fair, but are these true, of course? Out of the 560 silver crates, I pulled a total of 228 1-star cars, which comes down to around 40.7%, which is 3.7% higher than the claimed 37%. In terms of 2-stars, I pulled 130, which is 23.2%, and that is significantly lower than the 29% stated. The 3-stars were kind of a surprise to me as I pulled more than 2-star cars, so which came down to 146 in total, which is 26%. Now the interesting ones. 4-star, a total of 44, which comes down to 7.86%, which is very close to the 8% they claimed, and then the final one being the 5-stars, there were 12 in total, which is 2.14%, and that again is a very close value to the claimed one of 2%. So what can we conclude from this? The values are for the lowest stars not 100% right, on this small amount of pulls, because 560 is rather small compared to 10,000s, but the higher values are certainly very close. Now the gold crates, which is most interesting as that is the one that most people claim is rigged, and honestly I was kind of surprised with the results. So the claimed odds are for a 5-star car 10%, for a 4-star car 30%, and 60% for a 3-star car. Out of the 700 pulls, 428 were 3-star cars, which is roughly 61%. Then there are 207 4-star cars, which is equal to 29.6%, and then finally 65 5-star cars, totaling at 9.3%. I must mention though that I kept track after each 100 pulls, and the final 100 pulls skewed the results a little bit. After 600 pulls I had exactly 9.5% of 5-star cars, 30% exactly for the 4-stars, and 60.5% for 3-stars, so it can overall be said that the drop rates on gold are very accurate. But of course a test over 1000 pulls or 10,000 pulls will be more decisive than just the 700 pulls. What I did find most surprising though is that 48% of the cars pulled out of gold crates are starred variants of cars that you can just buy from the dealership with cash or gold. This means that every other pull you lose 10 very rare gold keys on a car you could just buy, so I feel like these should be removed from the gold crates and just kept into the silver crates. I must say though I didn't pull a single tier 2 car, to my surprise. For full results and statistics on how many there are per tier, check out the sheets in the comment below. In general, it can be said that the drop rates do match with the claimed percentages outside of the drop rates. During the drop rates, the odds are completely different, and many are still not sure if the drop rate affects the odds of the car itself, or also the odds of a certain rarity to drop. But I can say I'm pleased with the results. I must mention this test was done over a time span of 2 times each 4 hours. There are tricks out there or videos suggesting not playing for days or pulling on top of the hour increases the odds due to evil algorithms in game. But this actually proves that not playing for days doesn't increase odds at all, as the gold crates were accurate after not playing for a very long time, and then the silver crates were also accurate after playing for a couple of days straight. And also about the top of the hour, I had some of my best cars at real random timestamps, and the hot cold method is also busted as there were no real patterns within the pulls. It went from 3-star to a 5-star to a 4-star, 3-star. It was all over the place. Of course, nothing stops you from believing in these tricks, and they don't harm, but to me they're the same as having a lucky underwear or some lucky socks out there. Now a little bit more about the biggest beauties I pulled, as many probably think I only got trash 5-star cars. Silver crates first. Here I'll go over all 12 5-star cars that I pulled. To start off, indeed a little bit more trash, but not really trash as it's still a rather good car, 11.5. 2 BMWs ACS8, an Aston Martin 177 as well, Corvette ZR1, a nice red Dodge Demon, Ferrari F12 TDF, which was the biggest surprise, a Koenigsegg 121, a Veoneer Supersport, a Dodge Viper ACR, a Ferrari F40 and a Liberty Walk C63. So overall a nice variety of slow tier 4 cars to fast tier 5 cars. For the gold crates I pulled a total of 65 5-star cars. If you want to see them all, I'll have a full sheet in the pinned comment below, so you can definitely go check it out. But in general I got quite a lot of Camaros, 2 LaFerraris, 4 F40s, 2 variants both with a new livery, which is quite nice as soon we will have a Golden Cup with an Evo Cup coming for it soon, a Ferrari FXXK, no Evo sadly, both regular and Vorstein 720S, a nice looking S15 Rocket Bunny which I sold by accident, and then another one that I still have with nice new rims with the black, looks kinda sweet, and also 2 Ferrari 812 Superfast, and many more awesome cars, so definitely be sure to check out the sheet below. Okay, halfway through, now the theory that I have in my mind on how the system could actually work. Now we have proven that it is a random system with weights, we can decipher a little bit on how it possibly could be working. This is just a theory that I have in my mind and I could be 100% wrong or I could have some truth in it, but we will never know. My theory consists of 3 random number generators working instead of 1 like many people think. One that decides the rarity, the one that decides the car within that rarity, and then finally one that determines the color of the car you get. Every season a 4 or a 5-star car is added to the mix, but the drop rate for the 4 and the 5 stars doesn't seem to increase, concluding that rarity is independent on the number of cars available. Also, the fact that the Nissan Silvia S15 Rocket Bunny has around 150 variants doesn't seem to increase its chance on dropping when pulling a 5-star, indicating that the number of variants also has no effect on the drop rates. To start off, the rarity, or the first generator, or the first step for me. For that, I made a very small basic coding simplified program on how the rarity could be chosen depending on given percentages. So basically I let the program randomly generate a number between 0 to 99. If the number is smaller than 10, so basically between 0 and 9, it will represent a 5-star car, and that range is 10% of the total range. Then between 10 to 39 it will represent a 4-star car, as that is 30 values out of 100, which is 30%. And then the rest resembles number 40 to 99, which is 60% of the total numbers. Okay, let's try this now by doing this 9 times in a row, creating a for loop around it. And as you can see, each value has a certain rarity next to it, like 5-star or 4-star. Now let's turn this program from a text writer to a counter and let it run 10,000 times. And voila, the results. They're not exact like the given percentages, like or exactly 30% or exactly 10%, but they're very close to it, and they change every 10,000 times we try this. This is how I sense that actually the first generator works, defining the rarity of the car. Okay, now the second generator, the car itself within the rarity class but without the color yet. We'll do that later. Here we will try to visualize it by working with a big jar. Let's say we have 5 4-star cars and we put them all in this jar, each with an equal rarity of 1. The chance you are getting this car is 1 out of the number of the cars there are in the jar, which is 1 out of 5. But what if we would add another one of each car you don't want, making it 2 for each car except the one you have. So this will bring the total to 9 cars in the jar. So what is the chance of you getting the car that you do want? It turns into 1 out of 9. So for the developers it's rather easy, they can just add 1 car into the jar at the end of the season, and that way they don't change the odds of the rarity when increasing the pool of cars you can pull. Now imagine this with all 5-star cars, of which there could be 6 Torques in there for just 1 LaFerrari, meaning they are more likely to pull a Torque out of there than a LaFerrari. So basically, to make a car more rare, they just have to increase the weights of the other cars in the jar. And now the final one, which decides the variant of the car you actually end up getting. As there are cars with a high amount of variants but others with only 1 variant, the drop rates should not be affected by these amount of cars. For example, if there were 50 cars with 3 color variants each, that would make 150 cars with 5 stars. Now with the 2.1 update, they released 150 variants for the S15 Rocket Bunny, which would bring the total down to 300 cars, of which half of them would be an S15. When pulling, I only pulled 2 out of the 77 cars that I actually pulled. This means that the variant chooser is different from the rarity in the car chooser in general. But I kind of see this kinda similar as the same process as the car picker we just talked about earlier. So once the car is selected, a new jar is created with all the variants of all the same car in one jar. Most logical would be that all the variants have the same weight of 1, making them equal rarity. But of course, if they would want to make a specific color very rare, they just have to increase the odds of the other colors to decrease the chance of getting that special color. Honestly, if it sounds a little bit too complicated, just take a bag for yourself and take a couple of marbles with the same colors. Let's say take 6 blue ones, 4 red ones and 2 yellow ones and 1 green one, and then just try to get the green one out of it. You will see the chance of getting the green one is so much lower than to get the blue one, because there's only 1 green one compared to 6 blue ones. So that's how I feel the system works, and how they can actually adapt these values into when they just add other variants into it. They can increase values of certain cars to make certain cars more rare, certain cars less rare. But yeah, in general, it's a fun experiment. Try it for yourself with just a bag of marbles and you'll see how it actually should work. And this is how I feel it works. So basically how I see that it works, there is a first generator picking the rarity, so it goes 3, 4 or 5 stars. Then there's a second generator picking the car, and then there is one choosing the color before it actually gets delivered through the garage door. This was a very fun video to make, and I honestly was surprised by the odds that it actually matched up with what was said. So if someone ever comes to you claiming the pulls are rigged, just show them this video. The video was kind of a very mathematics-like, but I kinda like that. If you enjoyed the video like I did, leave a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. My name is Mille, see you around, and keep racing.